My name's Abe Stein, born in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Came to Florida in 1939 with my sister and brother-in-law who lived here. And November 2nd, 1940, I joined the Army because they were talking about a draft. And I figured, and after Easter, everything's off of business here, so not working at all. And I joined the Army. Sergeant asked, what interests you? I said, medicine. And he put me in the medical department. He said, where would you like to go? And I looked around the pictures. I saw Hawaii looks good. And in January 1941, they sent me up to Fort Moultrie, South Carolina, where I was with Southern troops, and being the only Jewish fellow there, the names never stopped, but that's okay. In January, a troop ship left New York and picked us up in Charleston, South Carolina. And let me tell you, January in the winter time, 30-foot waves, very, very cold, and those troop ships had no heat, no air, and we were seasick all the way to Panama. And in Panama, we were there Friday night, so I went and I found a shul. I was able to go to the shul to daven Friday night. And Saturday we left for San Francisco, and from there we went on to Hawaii. In January 1941, when we landed there, we had 11 months of peace. And on a Sunday, we would go down to the naval base. A lot of people don't know what Pearl Harbor really is. Pearl Harbor is a Navy base in Honolulu. And the Army base in Honolulu was a Marine base. And so I was scheduled to the Army base, and I was assigned to the hospital. And on a Sunday, we would go down to the naval base, spend time with them, have baseball, have lunch, and then they'd come up to the Army base on a Sunday. And this went on for 11 months. And I worked in the hospital till midnight. So I was fast asleep. My bed started to shake. And I didn't even open my eyes. I said, don't bother me, I'm off today. Then it shook again, and I saw people running to the balcony, which I did also. I said, why are our ships on Sunday? Because we didn't see the red circles. And I said, not only that, but look at our guys falling from live bullets. I said, we didn't know what was going on. And loudspeaker came out, all off duty, please go to the hospital. Even though we got bullets in amongst our building, they were in that area because before they even went to the Navy, they wanted to wipe out all the airlines. And Wheeler Air Base was attached to our Army base. And the planes were there like come and get us. And one of our pilots did get off, but unfortunately was shot down. I went out to get him with an ambulance, and he was very, very badly wounded. And we had a very, very busy day in the hospital, left and right. We have no idea how many were coming in. And in the evening, they sent 6 of us down in the lobby of the hospital. It was pitch black. You couldn't even put on lights because the windows were not covered. And we'd wait and get a call, like for the 4th floor. Right away we knew. Our hearts just broke down. We had to pick up somebody who died. And we take him to the morgue. We got a call, 4th floor, walk up, one at a time. You couldn't see a thing. And the nurse would say, 4th bed on the right, so you count the bed, and 2 of us. One would take up the front head portion, I would pick up the legs, and this went on for a few times, and then my hands went straight up. I broke down. Really, I can't believe that I broke down. And when I wrote this story 68 years later in our shul, I broke down again while I was writing it. I went through 4 tissues. I said, my God, how can I do that? But you know why? Pearl Harbor, to me, is like yesterday. So anyway, about a day after the Pearl Harbor attack, they took 5 of us and a doctor and a nurse to Kauai to prepare for troops. But there are any questions in between, you can ask me. If you like, just raise your hand, and I'll be able to tell you what you'd like to know. So we set up two hospitals, we set up a medical supply depot, and Honolulu was sending us medical supplies that we didn't even see before. But I had a catalog, so I'd ask the doctor, what is this? And the nurse, what is this? And it ended up that I became a medical supply specialist. And so I was sent, we went through maybe a year and a half in Kauai getting all ready. So because I was so good at the supply depot, that they sent me back to the United States to go to officer candidate school to become an officer. Well, being the only Jew, and nothing was said yet, And a week before, they said, make sure you have all your new uniforms. And the day before, they called me in the office and said, you're not graduating. I said, why? Because you're not. I said, okay. To me, things happen good and happen bad, and you accept them, and that's it. So we were sent up to up to Seattle to start a new supply depot called 31st Medical Supply Depot. So we left Seattle on boxcars all the way across the country. We didn't know where we were going. We got to New York, and they put us on the Queen Elizabeth, which, oh my God, that was wonderful, because the troop ships that we were on, it was awful. We had 25,000 soldiers on that ship, and we finally landed up in Scotland, took a train down to southern part of England. We were preparing for the invasion in Southampton, and I think all of you know about D-Day already, the tragedy of all that we lost. So we were very fortunate that we didn't have to go D-Day, because we were preparing everyone for that. And we got off 2 days later, and to this day, I think I've told some of you, I don't remember the crossing of the Channel. And we were working around the clock, popping pills, no sleep. So somebody said, well, maybe you were sleeping going across. Well, that could be because we were working around the clock doing these pills. If that's the sleep there, it's the best I had in my whole life, because I was very bad. So anyway, then we had to walk up to an area where we're going to set up the supply depot, and now we had to build foxholes. I think most of you know what a foxhole is. Two to a foxhole. Because of my bad sleeping, I built one for myself. And it just was unbelievable. And we took time and got all this, and then we ended up in Paris, and we found Jewish women that were hiding because their husbands were taken off to the camps, and they never came back. And just busy with supplying the depot, the hospitals, and make sure that everybody was getting their health and taken care of and all that. So August 25th, we were shipping back. In fact, one of my brothers was an officer on one of the ships, hoping that when the troops would come back, he got on his ship. And I had a call in the office, you're not shipping back? I said, why? What you went through, you're going to fly home. I said, that was the best thing I've ever had in World War II.